For years now, I've been doing this one money hack every single month, and it really truly reduces the amount of stress in my personal finances. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you. But before we get into that, we have to explain what's going to happen in these videos because I'm building my community, Dollar Discipline University in public. It's a free personal finance community helping people save more money, pay off debt, just gain more confidence with your money. And it's all basically off of, what I did to pay off $43,000 of debt in over a year, save a lot of money, et cetera, et cetera. So now I'm trying to help other people do that as well. So first, we're going to go through some YouTube comments, maybe get to YouTube Q&A, give you guys immediate value. Then probably while you clicked on this video, I have a section where I think a lot about people's personal finances and my personal finances. So I'm like, how can I help people get them to happen faster? So this video, it's the monthly trick that I've used to help reduce the money stress. And then towards the end, we're going to be talking about some of the community activity things that are going on in here that are relevant to you if you're someone that's trying to save more money, pay off debt, understand where your money's been going, figure out how to sustain forward momentum over time. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. The monthly trick that reduces money stress. And I don't really hear a lot of people talking about this, but where's the link here? So this is a calendar, and I did this a few months back, so ignore the dates. The dates don't really matter. It's more about the concept. More or less, I do what I call paycheck budgeting. And so I'm going to also use my drawing tool here. Paycheck budgeting. Oh, I realized this is what happens when I'm going quick here. I didn't do the YouTube comments. The reason why I skipped it was because I know that I don't have any. So again, get those in, overwhelm me with your comments, questions, stuff relating to personal finances, and I would love to get into them. So paycheck budgeting. So basically, it's pretty simple, right? Every paycheck period, understand what needs to be paid or organize all money to have it fit when you get paid. So let me explain. So everyone's largest expense most likely is the roof over your head, right? So mortgage or rent. It's unless you paid off your mortgage, right? But maybe you have property tax, you'll have homeowners insurance, right? So basically I'm just thinking like in general, the expense of like living in a place, okay? What my wife and I have done for quite a few years now is we both have 9-to-5 jobs. So on top of what I'm doing here, I have a 9-to-5 job, and we get paid, let's call it around the first of every month or the last of every month, whatever. Our mortgage comes out around this time as well. So what we want to have happen, let me make a handy dandy chart here. Let's see how straight I can make this line. That's not bad. All right, you know what? That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, don't worry about that. So let's say we are at, it's the beginning of the month. So we just got paid. Great. This is us getting paid. This is half of our income. Okay, great. Let's color that in green. And then our largest expense comes out as well. Not great, but it's like we chose this. We chose to have a mortgage, so that it is what it is, right? The paychecks that we have cover, so this little sliver right here, it covers mortgage, which is cool. I'm gonna put it up here, make a little arrow going to it. Awesome. So whatever the dollar amount is here, I'm not gonna dive specifically into that, but over time, our combined paycheck has increased enough where it's over our largest expense, okay? Then what we do is we organize our finances by using credit cards. Now, I'm not against credit cards. I'm not for credit cards necessarily. I'm not going to tell you to stop using them. I'm not going to tell you to start using them. I will say if you have spending, if you know that you have bad habits with your spending, I would say probably pause on the credit cards for now. But how we use it, we use credit cards to organize our finances. So I'm going to do credit cards to organize finances. So anything at all that we can put on our credit card, we do it. Why? Because we also get paid again in the middle of the month. So let's call it the 15th, right? These are both Saturdays, but whatever. You guys get the point here. We get paid in the middle of the month. So then, as soon as we get paid in the middle of the month, we also pay our credit cards, which has every expense on it. So think like groceries, gas. We're able to put our kids' daycare on there, which is kind of crazy to me, but sure, if they allow us, we're going to do that. All this other stuff, okay? All the life stuff that we have, toilet paper, right? Okay, we get it. We have some auto investing stuff that comes out around this time, and some other expenses, just everything, okay? There's one utility that for some reason we can't use a credit card, so fair enough, it's scheduled close enough. So we're gonna just lump this all in here. But this is how we set it up. So then when we get to the next month, we get paid again. Or sorry, not the next month, the next pay period. We get paid again. Okay, great. And then all of our expenses immediately come out after that. We schedule everything. So now we have the same scenario where we have this little gap that covers everything else. Now, it took us years to be able to do this, so this might not be something you can do today, just to be very clear. But what it might look like for you in the beginning is, let's say, you might look at it. So first things first, if you don't know if you can even do this, I would at least take a look and see like, interesting. Is this possible? Now, it could be different if you get paid weekly. So if you get paid weekly, it's going to be a little different, and I can walk through that because I have people inside the community that get paid weekly. So let's say instead of twice a month, you get paid every week. Okay, so obviously, I would say not obviously, but in most cases, your 1 week's paycheck will not be able to cover your largest expense. So it'll look something like this, and your largest expense will come out in the beginning of the month. It'll look something like this, right? And then, you'll have like other expenses coming out here, right? How can we get it so that at the end of the month, this is just another hack to like, how can we get it at the end of the month where our income is greater than our expenses? And obviously that's like the most obvious thing in the entire world. But if we try to stack this into like, what do I need to do every single week to be able to make this happen? Now the problem seems a lot less challenging. Instead of like, how am I going to do this thing over the entire month? It's like, no, what do I need to do this week? So for people that have had this situation before come up where they get paid weekly, what I recommend to them is try to have money left over in this last paycheck. So try to reduce the amount of expenses here, have money left from this last paycheck to help the first paycheck pay for the largest expense. So maybe what this looks like is maybe instead of this, so if I just delete this, remove it, oops. Maybe your expenses in the last week, it's like this, okay? And then we're gonna have this help out this to be able to pay for this. But when you start with this, let's say, again, if we go back to the bi-weekly period, let's say you start this and you're like, ooh, you know what? It's actually more like this for me. Then what I would do is you want to obviously reduce like this. We got to figure out how to reduce this. That way it's a net, at least get to the break-even point. And at a certain point, you want to obviously scale past that. Now, what does this extra money do for us? Well, we've been able to put the extra money towards our financial goals. So we are even including like auto investing as a monthly reoccurring expense. So now what does that mean? We can like put more money towards savings. We have like we have a buffer in our checking account. We have a large emergency fund. We have specific like auto investing things. I don't talk about investing on this channel, but just like general market stuff. Okay. And then we just have like a spot where it's like, we're putting money into it. That's all where all the extra money goes. And we're like, we're not sure what this money is going to be used for, but we want to be prepared for when the time comes when we could just use like a nice influx of cash to do something. So this is how we really think about it. So if you're, maybe struggling month to month, it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you make $40,000 a year or $200,000 a year, it doesn't really matter. how much money you make. It's about how you use it and how aware you are with it. So I would just try thinking about this like this. How can you like sort of organize your money in a way that it just reduces stress? Because what I see a lot is this. And you guys let me know if this is you or not, okay? I see this. So let's do the bi-weekly paycheck again, okay? So we have this. Great, we get paid here and we get paid here. Great. We have our largest expense here. And then we just have like all these little things that happen all the time. And it's just very hard to kind of keep track of, right? There's like all these things happening. It's like every other day. Like fair enough, if you use like a debit card or something, it's going to be like keep coming out of your bank account. Fair enough. This isn't me telling you what to do or anything like that. But it's like, to me, I used to do this. It's just like so much harder to keep track of in terms of like, hey, where am I standing for the month? Because if all of this is like variable every month, it's really hard to know what's going to happen at the end of the month. Whereas we know like, okay, everything's set up in a way where our credit card is just taking the brunt of all these expenses. And we know, okay, we can't go over X dollars amount on these credit cards. So like throughout the month, we're kind of just checking in like, okay, where do we stand? Because I think this is really, really tough to get a good picture of like money's coming out of like your, say, checking account every day, every other day for transactions. It's really hard to kind of be organized if you want to use this method. Okay, this isn't me telling you what to do, but this is what I used to do. And it just looks way more chaotic than this, to be quite honest with you. And yeah, fair enough. There's actually one more in here, right? That little thing that I mentioned, the other utility. So there's like a little small thing here. So let me know what you guys think about that. Because I think about this a lot, and it's even like, is this the best way? I don't know. Like, if you have the weekly check, like, how do you plan for that? Especially if, say, you make, I don't know, $1,000 a week, let's just say, and your rent or mortgage is $1,800. Like, obviously, this one check isn't going to be able to cover that, so we need money from the last check to be able to do that. And then how do you, figure out the rest of the month? Let's say you have, so if you're making $4,000 a month, your rent or mortgage is $1,800. Now you have $2,200 to spread out the rest of the month, right? So let me know what you guys think about that. And if you don't really know where to start, what to do, inside the community here, I've started this new, I'm calling it a challenge or a sprint. It's a cash flow kickstart. And the idea of it is to join the community and find hidden cash flow in upwards of $100 to $300 a month of just money that's been sitting there and you didn't know it, or you didn't know how to find it. And this is not me saying you have to go make more income or do a side hustle or anything like that. It's just going to help you understand where your money's been going, how to realign your money to the things that matter the most, and then how to keep that momentum month after month. And the way I like to think about this is my 3-step framework. And I think I pretty much talk about this every video. So let me see if I can find it yesterday's video. Awareness, action, accountability. This is the 3-step framework, my AAA framework. And if you look at this here, where has your money been going? Well, that's awareness. How to realign your money to the things that matter the most, that's action. And how to keep that momentum month after month, that's accountability. And if we go back to what we've been talking about today, this is a very, very obvious awareness play, right? It's like, how much money is our largest expense? How much money do we make every time we get paid? And then how much money does the rest of our life cost? That's an awareness play. And then the action is, how do I ensure that I can have, what small steps can I take right now that I think would get me in the direction of finding that little extra dollars every single paycheck, every single pay period. And again, if you get paid weekly, it'll be slightly different. You'll have to sort of map that out differently. But how can I get an increase here and an increase here, where at the end of the month I'm making extra money essentially that I can put towards my financial goals? And then accountability. How do I do this month after month? Well, it's pretty simple for my wife and I to continue doing this month after month because we've been rewarded for years for doing this. Now, there have been times, absolutely, when some stuff happens over here, right, with the rest of our life, and it's like this or something. It's just like out of control, ridiculous. So it's not a perfect process. Of course, like, you know, we're human. Unexpected expenses happen all the time. So when you plan for something like that, and then boom, that it just goes way up, it's very annoying. In our case, again, we have a lot of buffers in place, but we would just simply like maybe this month we would take the small L, and our expenses would be higher than our income. If it was significantly higher, we'd dip into the probably keep the emergency fund intact, but sort of the buffer in our checking account. And when I say buffer in my checking account, I just mean we don't let it go below our checking does not go below 3 mortgage payments, which is just kind of a rough idea that we put into place. So this dollar amount here is basically our 0. Like, we cannot let it go below this. So the buffer that we've created, it allows for us to be able to go below it and just be totally fine. But like mentally, it's like, nah, we can't go below this at all. So this is just how we're thinking about this. So I've just started this new cash flow kickstart thing. So in the calendar, it's a 2-day group event. So I've already done one the first week. The second week of September, I have another one coming up next week for my weekend warriors. But typically what's going to happen is the call's going to be one night, one evening. Again, this is for America's time zone, so I apologize if you're not in the America's time zone. Due to my time restrictions, it's hard for me to service everyone around the world. But just to be clear, this works for any country that you live in, any currency that you have. Basically, if you make income, you can do this without a doubt. And then, so the first call here is let's walk through the awareness piece of what we need to do. Then there's 48 hours for you to take a small action item. And then here in the second call, we're going to be going through accountability. Okay. So awareness, action, accountability. And I give people the extra time here because I know how busy everyone is. I know how busy I am, so I could understand how busy everyone else is. And I'm just testing out days and stuff on the calendar. So if that's interesting for you, I'm going to be opening up some October times as well, depending on when you're watching this. And I'm just going to keep doing this for a while. I think this is probably the best, straightest line path for you to help find more money in your finances to put towards your financial goals. Okay, so I'm making these videos daily, guys. I genuinely just want to help people reach their goals. The stats I see in personal finances, specifically for the United States, but I guess it probably applies to the rest of the world, are pretty staggering. And if I can make a small dent in that, I think that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, so if you like this, I'm doing these daily. Let me know in the comments, what challenges are you having right now? What do you want to see next? Like, I'm always down for new ideas, because doing these daily, it's like I want to keep those of you that watch a lot of these or most of these, like, I don't want to keep saying the same thing in every video. So let me know. And I think the reason why these videos work, by the way, is because this isn't some boring, this isn't boring content that like everyone can make. So like in the personal finance niche, I'm sure it's like every niche where it's like people just have like the same generic content, and it's hard to stand out when you do something like that. For me, this is content that is very specific to either my experience or stuff that's happening inside the community. So I've actually done some videos where I'm going over like the massive like monetary wins inside the community, but also the massive just like mindset wins. And these are all going to be unique to this community and to this content. Like, no one else can make this content, because like, who in the world is like doing this and thinking about this and then like, I don't know, drawing it's just like a very different way to do it. So if you guys are enjoying that, let me know. If you want to see something else, let me know too. I'm doing this for you guys, so I'd love some feedback. I'll see you tomorrow.